What's up? This is OG.
This is Kay.
This is Millie.
And you're now listening to the T.H.O.T podcast.
Hey, yo, Kay, you woke?
Yeah, I'm woke.
Hey, yo, Millie, you woke?
Wide awake.
And welcome to another episode of the T.H.O.T podcast. I'm your host, OG, and today we got some interesting topics for you. So stay tuned, listen up, grab your popcorn, your drinks, your Snuggie, whatever you got to do, because it's about to go down. I'm just glad to be back for the second episode. Feels like, just yesterday was the intro, even though it was 2 days ago. But anyway, we're back with episode 2, and we're going to get straight into it. Kay is going to be coming and blessing us with some gaming news and motivation.
Hey, appreciate that, OG. So I just want to get started by talking about getting started with broadcasting and streaming online. By me being a content creator, part of me giving my motivation talks is to encourage and maybe give you guys some insight on what you can do to better yourself as a content creator. So the first thing I want to talk about is, what do you do if you haven't started already? How do you get started into streaming? The first thing you want to ask yourself is if you're ready to invest. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about the time and dedication that you're going to have to put into it without receiving results in the beginning. Because don't nothing come easy, especially when you're branding yourself, when you're starting a new business and all that stuff. It doesn't come easy at all. How y'all feel about that, fellas?
Well, I just want to know, you said investment of time. What if you work a 40-hour week job, Kay?
You got to balance it. You might not be able to put 100% into your content. So you have to balance your time. You have to be, able to schedule yourself and figure out what works best for you. Because some people have families too. I mean, I'm a single mom. So I had to balance around my son's school schedule and, him being able to spend time with his dad and all that stuff. There's a lot of responsibilities involved, but you have to balance your lifestyle, your responsibilities, and your family all in the midst of that, to not neglect what's important, but still put the time in and effort into your content.
So you mean I can be a streamer even if I only have 4 hours a week in the evening?
Oh yeah. All it takes, realistically speaking, if you trying to grow your content, it's not going to kick off right away, unless you do already have a big backing. Like if you have a big support or a big network that's already rocking with you like that, it's possible. But if it's just you, it's gonna take more than just a day to make that happen. But a good hour or so, you can just stream for a good hour. Put an hour in, just to get started.
I got a question, Kay. So if they working a full-time job and they're streaming and they're putting in, they're taking them opportunities to get them hours in for streaming, when do they actually make time to market it and actually put it out there to the masses?
Well, what I used to do is while I was working, you have breaks at work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Use your lunch break.
Yeah.
I would spend that time. Most of the time, I'm not even eating because I eat kind of light. I mean, everybody's different, but I would get on the phone, get on IG, Twitter, whatever, social media apps I'm using, and I would just put myself out there. I was just, gradually brand myself. You could do that while you at work. There is no such thing as excuses unless you allow it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could find a time while you sitting on the toilet. I don't care where you at. You could be just nonchalant chilling at your desk and don't have no work.
I caught a lot
put the
of
time
slack
into branding yourself.
in the beginning of my streaming. I was doing a lot of hours. I was doing 14 hours. A normal stream for me was like 12 hours. And that's when I was doing role play with GTA 5. And a lot of people was like, "Oh, you don't use Instagram?" I'm like, "Nah, I just use my Twitter." Like it was Twitter has been efficient enough for me, just to use Twitter only and then stream. And I think I'm doing okay. I mean, I have a great community. So, I agree with you, and it doesn't take much to invest into that stream.
Yeah, and that's fine too. There's other ways to brand yourself, and don't necessarily have to do it through social media. You can go to networking events, different, meetups and stuff like that, just to put yourself out there. Some people prefer that face to face, connection with people in order to,
Interaction.
yeah, to brand themselves. So that's fine too. Whatever works best for you as an individual, whatever you're comfortable doing and putting out. Because I'm not gonna even lie to you, for a long time it took me a while to really get into the flow of being on social media because I'm a private
Mhm.
person.
I'm
So
still like that.
I am too, but like I've gotten a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more open with putting myself out there, but I've learned how to do it the right way. So, branding myself and being aware of the risk involved when you put too much information, out there of yourself. That's why I'm be like, when people be coming in the stream, yo, okay, where you stay at? what's your man name? Like what? No, I'm not
Yeah.
putting all that information out there for y'all to be looking me up like that. But
I'm a social introvert, so I enjoy the opportunity to be to myself a lot, but I don't mind socializing in public.
See, I'm I'm a one-on-one person. I have
Pick it up,
to.
pick the phone up and call me.
Yeah, I gotta be like face to face with you to open up and just let you know everything. But my question is now, Kay, what made you comfortable? Because this is a part to me. I would say social media, in the day and time that we're in now, is a very big. Even though it's not necessary to brand yourself, it's a big part of how we content creators brand ourselves, right? So,
yeah.
what made you comfortable with using social media more? Because a lot of people just, I think they have a fear. Like me, I don't like
I was just
Instagram because I feel like it's too much in my business, which is nothing bad about my business. It's like, do I really want to open up to a bunch of people for them to pick and say this and say that? So, what made you comfortable using?
it's definitely a fear. And I can tell you I've experienced having my account hacked to the point where like everything about me was exposed.
Right.
And that was traumatizing for me. So when I did get into streaming, I was very, very like to myself. I've walls up everywhere. Like any kind of question like sparked a red flag to me. Like, what you trying to find out? Who is you? Are you my stalker? I would panic. But I realized that fear was blocking my opportunities and for me to be discovered online. So
Right.
I gradually over time just kind of like built myself up and just took the initiative. Okay, this is what I can put out without it being detrimental or hurting me as an individual. So in some ways I just took it upon myself to figure out how to control the information that's put out about me. So I'm willing.
Good point.
Yeah, like you don't have to tell everything about yourself, but I only talk so much about myself. If it's not about gaming, my content, um you know stream related, basically, I'm not talking about it. So
I don't know.
that's
I'm different. I'm gonna leak my sex tape before the next person do.
Yo, what?
I'll leak my sex tape before the next person do.
Oh man.
Yeah. Hey, your girl looking like, why you don't do me like that?
Yo. That would be that's
Oh,
you something else,
good
Billy.
promo on my
Uh,
Instagram.
but yeah, I definitely think it's a fear that that's set in our mind and makes us not want to put ourselves out there. So you have to define what you're willing to put out and control that information that's put out.
Absolutely.
So now, this is what I feel people get twisted. There's a difference between, or this is more of a question. Is there a difference between direct marketing yourself and setting a brand for yourself?
I would say yes in some aspects, and I think this is why when you're branding yourself, you're branding yourself for doors, right? Working with other companies or sponsorships and connections. So you kind of have to maybe follow a blueprint that doesn't make you appear or seem too out there, because I this crazy, because I kind of want to talk about this for the next episode we do, branding yourself, because we can promote ourselves, market ourselves, but it might be bad. It might be a bad way to market yourself, and you might actually restrict, you might, like, your content might be growing, but when the companies look at you, are you marketable?
Right.
Because you have children involved, you have families that these companies market to, and if you don't fit the image, they're not going to offer you any opportunities.
That's a good point. Well, I think I need to go and rehash myself.
I need to revamp myself right now.
Yeah, I think I need to revamp. So, do you feel? I sound like I'm doing an interview on you, okay? Do you feel in this day and age, right, where we are now? Because see, I remember when it was Justin TV, before Twitch had its boom, and before then, there was really no marketing. There was no branding. You were just a streamer that most people went by their name.
Yeah,
back then,
they did.
right? And they did both. YouTube was coming up, so a lot of people were already known on YouTube, right? So transition. I personally think that it's more helpful now to come from YouTube to Twitch or from YouTube to Mixer and bring an audience with you, because the grind of branding yourself on a streaming platform is so vigorous that it sometimes deter people from sticking with it. How do you overcome that if you just starting Twitch only and you're trying to brand yourself there?
Man, like, I'm I'm an advocate for networking. You got to network. Like, I honestly don't see no other way around it. Like, you're not saying that you can't grow your content or your channels off of just being on one platform, but it's going to take much, much more time. And if you're impatient, because, like, everybody personality is different. Like, I'm a little bit more patient. I feel like I'm patient, so I don't mind putting in the time, and then at most cases not receiving back the information or content I put out. Because sometimes you will run into situations where you're not getting followers. Like, I've had streams where I will stream 15 hours straight and maybe only get 5 followers. But I never let that discourage me. That's a crazy ass grind, right? So it's like, yo, what did I really get out of this? But I continue to network. I'm running into people that's outside of my area of expertise that know things, that expose me to this information. I'm like, wow, that's really new. Like, I could use this and utilize this for my content. And then I see new people come in and like, I really like that. Like, you're a really dope streamer. And I'm like, okay, it's paying off, so like it's doing something, but you have to, it's almost like you have to research yourself a little bit and figure out what your niche is. You also have to understand your individual personality and understand the people that's trying to connect with you on that.
Right. And let's not get it confused for all you listeners. Networking, clout chasing, and just self-promoting yourself in somebody else's stream are entirely
two different things.
Entirely two different things. Okay.
I am so sick and tired of hearing this whole clout thing, because people take that in networking and they try to it's first of all, it's not like it's interchangeable. Like clout chasing and networking is just not together. It don't sound right together at all. So it don't work out. I don't understand why people are taking clout and misusing it as networking. That's not how it works.
Right.
Oh, I gotta kiss this person's ass in order for my content to grow. And
Clout
then,
chasers when
Yeah,
I
we're not
punch you in
no,
your
doing
face
that.
man,
and
that's
record
not
it.
what networking is.
Clout chasers when I punch you in your face and record it. Just because you got a
Yeah.
number.
But
Yeah,
they like
we're
a
not
lot
doing
of
any of
these a
that.
lot of these content creators are young though. They probably just barely 21.
Right. Right.
So they don't understand.
See, I remember it was bad back in the days to even mention that you streamed in another streamer's chat. You remember those days? Like if you went in like, hey, I'm a streamer, like it was shunned in the old Twitch days.
Oh
You
yeah, you
couldn't just
clout
go into
chasing,
like,
you self-promoting out here.
yeah, you self-promote. You would get banned and lifted
Mm-hmm.
for saying anything about you streaming. Now it seems like people just go in your chat and just they almost tell everybody in your chat to come watch them
No, so
right off
short.
the bat.
Or they figure out a good way to finesse
I
it.
still ban people like that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I've
But
seen plenty of people that's like, yeah, I know when I be watching my viewers and when I'm talking into my fan base, I'm like, yo, I don't care who you be talking to. Get the hell out of my stream. You can talk to your
yeah.
goddamn self for 13 hours, but get the hell out of my stream. I don't care about your viewers. If you want to holler at me, hit me up on a personal note and let me know, like, hey,
Exactly. It's a respect thing. It's a respect level. Like you don't go into
Right.
somebody's stream and then just be like, "Hey, come check me out on my channel." While the stream is
Right.
live, like that's so disrespectful for one, and it's not adequate at all.
that's the obvious way. I see a lot of people do it the obvious way, but I've seen people even discreetly doing it is still a violation. If you come in there talking about something, well, I know when people watch me, I don't care about what people watch you if I'm the streamer. If you came to watch me, then enjoy what I'm watching and have conversation with me. Because if you say anything else outside of that, I'm gonna say, hey man, get at me offline.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I feel like it's okay if the streamer asks you because like I do have moments when like, it's a lot of streamers that come through my stream, first of all, that I really rock with and I love their content. And the moment they come through the building, I'm shouting them out. I don't mind, but we've established that connection. We've networked,
Right.
you know what I mean? I feel like I know them a little bit more on a personal level for me to be able to promote them and be like, look, I support their content. And if y'all watch me, y'all fuck with me like that, go watch them too, because they dope. But when it's somebody you haven't even established a connection with, don't even know their name, you don't know their background, you don't know what kind of content they put out, because I've had people come in my stream and they could be racist. Talking about some come check me out. Imagine you coming in my chat and you like come in here and come check me out. And one of my viewers go over there and they're like, "Who's this person you got me watching,
Who is
Kate?"
this
I'll be
guy?
like, "I don't
Yeah.
know who that is. I didn't promote them." So that's why
Right.
I ban those people when they come in because it's like, all right, chill. You can come in and say hi at least. If I ask you, I feel like it's appropriate. So, if I be like, hey, what was you streaming? Like, what was you playing? Like, I want to know. Talk your shit. But I don't even when I join streamers chat, like unless they ask me, I don't talk about what I stream and what I did. I come in there to watch you. I come in there to lurk. I come in there to support your content because most of the times I'm just doing stuff in the background anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to if I'm about to leave someone, a friend, they be like, "Oh, what you about to go do?" I always just say like, "I'm about to go handle my business." That's like my favorite go-to word. "Oh, I'm about to go handle my business. You feel me? Like, I'll see you later, or I'll just lurk. Like sometimes I just don't even say anything anymore. I just hit the exclamation alert and
Yup.
just go on about my day because there's no point. Like, those are really good points, okay? Like really, really good points. And this is all I try to stress, and I hope people are listening understand that this is all. You might, oh, they're going off. No, we're not going off topic. Okay, branding covers it. Let's put it like this: branding is the skeleton for the person you are as a content creator. Not only just a logo and a name, but it's how people are gonna know you. They're gonna know you.
How you are perceived.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna know you by the way you are, the way you act. So this topic that has brought up covers such a vast variety of things that we could pick it apart all day.
Yeah, we can.
Literally.
This whole topic could go for a whole hour. Like,
And
Right.
that goes for it goes for anything that you plan on doing, not streaming either. It's pretty much anything. Anything that requires you to brand yourself or put yourself in a position where you're requiring someone to come and use your service, you need to make sure that your service is professional in some form or fashion.
Yeah,
no
that's
hate to them, anybody out there. If you do what you want, but if you're trying to be
do what you want.
marketable, you have to be
Yeah.
mindful of the companies involved and who and who you trying to promote yourself to. Brand awareness is like one of the biggest things I even learned in school. That's like the first thing. So like it could be simple stuff like how I post my pictures on Instagram or Twitter. That's a personal choice for me, but I choose not to, show
Right.
more than what I'm willing to because I'm always thinking in the back of my mind, but what if this company wanted to reach out to me
Right.
and then they see this? That opportunity is gone.
Well,
It's missed now.
I think nowadays it's okay because yeah, we I see what's going on online with these pictures that certain people are posting and they are getting the biggest opportunities. So now I think we are a little bit flip flop reversed on that. The more lewd your content is, seems like you get the biggest deals. I like me. I know I'm not marketable to. I wouldn't be marketable to a family channel from just based
Yeah, I'm
upon
only
my stream.
marketable to the Pornhub and Hennessy.
And
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'm
That's what
more
I'm
of an
saying. But
adult
understand your
streamer.
market. That's
Stay in
really
your
what
lane. Stay in your lane.
stay in your lane. Like if that's what you're gonna do, like own that shit. But don't try to like own that and then switch gears and then expect, a good outcome of it. Like that's why I mean like brand awareness, like know what you're getting yourself into and
And
stick
one
to
more
the
Right.
thing,
script.
and I'm gonna say this one more time. Know who the hell you talking to. Because sometimes you might go talking to somebody and don't understand who you trying to, inform that you have a brand and a business. And you may be actually talking to someone who could care less what the hell you got going on and may see you as a idiot or and could possibly slander your name for a while. Be
Oh yeah.
cautious of who the hell you decide to attack or promote yourself to or inform yourself. Just like they always say, if you tell the devil your plans, he more than likely can ruin them. Some people ain't meant to know what your skills are and what your abilities are.
That too. Control
Yeah.
your information. Control what you put out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely separate now. I separate my content creating from my profession. You know, uh, the studio that I work with, only like 3 people know what I do on my spare time. Like nobody else really knows. And it's crazy because I was discovered from YouTube. Shout outs to Troy Dan. But yeah, I was discovered from some viral YouTube videos and you know, from a guy who hit me up and I didn't even believe him, and so I do a good job at separation and I try to keep it that way so that I'm not looked at a certain way. You get what I'm saying?
Agreed.
But yeah, OG, I feel you. I understand where you're coming from. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into some topics for gaming news now. First off, Call of Duty have a new update. It's like an 8 gig
Ugh.
update.
F Call of
And
Duty.
I really, really hope they added some new maps. And they did post some patch notes on what they were doing, some changes they made, but they have new maps. They also added some new maps to Ground War, Shoot House. What I don't know what Shoot House is. Shoot House the multiplayer mods is probably still updating. What else did they updated the playlist? So they added quick play filter, and Hardpoint, which I remember from previous Call of Duties. So apparently they fixed some bugs, some crash fixes, and improved the stability across like all the platforms.
So no
What
more
the?
getting kicked out of a game just because you're playing on Xbox with your PS4 friends.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
See, I haven't had no problems with getting kicked, but I mostly play co-op. I like the co-op version. I don't care too much for the multiplayer.
That's crazy because they updated so much with this new patch. They did some fixes to the riot shield. They fixed the issue where the throwing knife and the thermite weren't causing the shield to go on the player's back when thrown. They also did some fixes to claymores. It seems like that they nerfed it, so they reduced the trigger and the damage radius, which is really good because I remember walking through doors, right, and I wouldn't even be freaking near a claymore. It would just blow up. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like I was playing GTA, playing freaking Call of Duty, just dying left and right from claymores. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. They also they increased their recoil when mounting. They added some perks to EOD lighting. They improved visibility in dark areas. They did some. Oh, they increased the occlusion percentage to filter footstep sounds behind geometry and adjusting the footstep volume at a distance. That's.
I hope they nerfed that shotgun.
That's what they needed.
They did. They did. Thank goodness. That 725 shotgun was goddamn ridiculous.
Too OP.
Yeah, like I was a turkey target.
Too
like,
OP.
I'm tired of that.
Round of applause for the devs over there.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
But is it really nerfed? That's the problem.
Yeah, they increased the ADS and hip spread, but they reduced the damage range, which was my biggest issue because they wouldn't even be near next to you, and bam, dead. Like, hey, I exploited it too because I'm like, yo, if you can't beat them, join them. I start using the shotgun, and I was like, God dog, I'm getting more kills with the shotgun than I'm getting with the assault rifle. What is this?
Do you know how satisfying it is to ram your gun up a corner camping behind with a shotgun? I'm sorry. So I would love to ram my gun, and now I would like to see them try that while they're unaware of these patch notes. So thank you, Kate, for making me aware.
Yeah, they also did some more weapon patches to the LMGs, PKM pistols. Crouch and prone no longer adjust recoil. They did a lot. They did a lot for the updates, and the list goes on. So, you know, if for anybody that's listening, you want to know what the patch notes are, head over to their reddit.com /r/Modern Warfare, and you'll see all the footnotes there of whatever updates they put into the game. So far I'm liking what I see as far as the updates. Because let me tell you, I'm hoping the map now, my biggest issue though, they got to do something with the maps because first of all, it provides too many opportunities for camping. And that was my biggest issue. The maps are terrible to me. Terrible.
Hey, can't they also find the patch notes within the game, something like that as well?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it's definitely inside the game.
Yeah, they're not. This is not 2K. They're gonna let us know what changes they make to the game.
So I'm hoping
F2K.
You know, yeah.
Somebody, you know,
2K.
I had to throw a hit at 2K. I had to. I'm sorry.
I don't know why you had to say that, Kay.
Can I just point out how quick they rolling these updates out for Modern Warfare though?
They Big GG.
They're doing a good job. I gotta give them the credit. They're doing a good job. You know, I hate the maps, but I ain't gonna lie. I love the game. I just don't like the maps, but they doing a great job at updating. You know, we got to give them some credit because, man, I definitely appreciate a company, you know, making sure that their game is playable and accessible to all their consumers.
Will we be able to play the new map by Gary, aka Dr. Disrespect? I wonder is his map in? I may have to check on that. The map that he built.
Okay.
I don't know if that was like a 2v2 map or not, though. I don't know. See, I'm on PC and I'm not seeing 2v2. Are you?
What, gunfight?
Not, yeah, I don't have a
gun
it's
game.
locked for me for some reason.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's exclusive to PlayStation because there was somebody did mention that there are certain game modes that's not available on PC or Xbox, but PlayStation has it. Because apparently we have the co-op mode as well on PlayStation that's not available on PC.
Yeah, I have co-op on PC.
Do you have the missions though, or is it just is it survivor mode? I think it was survivor mode. They mentioned that
yeah, that's where we don't have.
Okay, survivor. Yeah, so survivor mode was unavailable.
Yeah, we don't have survivor.
I don't know why, because that's probably that's a good mode just to get some good practice, aim practice in, you know.
Yeah, I would love to have that. So please, y'all go bug the devs and tell them we need survivor mode.
They look like they listen to the community there.
Yeah, they do. I can, I'm happy. You know, I might still be struggling on some of the maps, but they're fixing their game. They're sending out updates and they're keeping it playable, and I really appreciate that because y'all know how I am about these games that don't update. Servers is terrible, you know, they don't put fixes. I can't enjoy a game if it's not playable. You know, that really frustrates me. So
I think that was part of the reason why Division 1 went away so badly is because of all the daggone hacks that was in there, correct? All the glitches within the game is what killed Division originally.
Yeah.
Shout out to come back harder for part 2.
Shout out to Infinity Ward, Raven Software, B-Nox, and High Moon Studios. Y'all are doing your thing over there. Even though I'm not a COD person, I am really enjoying the co-op. I don't like the multiplayer, but I am enjoying the co-op, and it's fun. It's an actual fun co-op. So, round of applause to you guys over there.
But yeah, that's that for Call of Duty. My last thing I just wanted to talk about as far as gaming is the new release for Death Stranding, starring Norman Reedus. Woo!
How you liking it?
Yo, I honestly, the reviews weren't terrible, but it wasn't good. So I was skeptical about getting it at first, but I was like, you know what? I don't care because first of all, Norman Reedus is in it, and he's one of my favorite actors. Right. I've been following this man since he did Boondock Saints, and that movie was mad hilarious to me, and just straight crazy. I love that movie, and when he did The Walking Dead, like I just fell in love with his entire persona, his character, like everything about Norman Reedus. Like I'll watch it. And when I heard about him being featured into this game, I was like, man, what? I gotta play this. Like you, So I enjoy the gameplay. I really like it. I think it plays very well. It feels more like a storyline versus just. But the game was developed by was it? I be pronouncing names so bad. Kojima's Productions.
I don't.
I almost swallowed. I was choking on my drink. I don't know how to pronounce that either.
I'm sorry to the studio. Look, I'm terrible with names. But they develop it and it's published by Sony Entertainment, so it is exclusive to PS4. Yes. It's also on PC though.
Oh yeah.
So it's exclusive to PlayStation, but it's out on PC.
Xbox just not included. That's just what they try to say.
Yeah, Xbox.
Y'all not gonna disrespect me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We got PC gamers, we got the PS4 gamers, but hey, the Xbox gamer here has been loyal for God.
Xbox is not
Microsoft. Look, I'm tired of people disrespecting me.
Xbox.
So I'm gonna need y'all to defend me a little bit. Be on my side. Help a brother out,
sir.
Put some games out there that's just fire,
sir.
And they can't compete.
Xbox One.
All the best games get put out on PlayStation. I'm just saying.
Until the Scarlet is released, I will give them that. When the Scarlet comes out, goodbye PlayStation. I'm just letting y'all know now. This is my prediction, and trust me, when I make a prediction, it comes true. So when the Scarlet hits the market, Y'all can forget about PS5. Nobody will play it.
Well, I appreciate Microsoft for dropping the Scarlet, because if you bring some more people for me to bust their ass, I would highly appreciate it, because at the end of the day, I've been busting their ass since the big green X. Back when the controllers looked like spaceships.
They still do.
I miss it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway.
But yo, the IGN rated it a 6.8, and the review wasn't totally bad, but it's been said that it feels like you're playing through a simulation. And the game just released today.
Right.
I played it as soon as it dropped. As soon as it was available for me to play, I played it for about like 2-3 hours. I love it, man. Like
I like
Norman Reed
simulation.
is his whole entire, like, he is playing him. Yo, he's an actor, man. He's playing his character great through the whole entire game. And there were so many intense moments throughout the gameplay too. There's a lot of cutscenes, but I feel like it's like that because they're trying to help you understand exactly what's going on in the game, because it's so weird. It's like a true sci-fi game. Like, you don't understand what the heck is going on when you start playing through it. You just, you're just going through the flow. But
Right.
they kind of explain like what's going on. There's also some pretty cool features in the game that allows you to connect with other players online, even though it's a single player game. There's like it connects you to other players online, so people can drop down equipment and stuff like that. And once you unlock that area and connect to that area, you can use the equipment that they put down. So like, you might not have to place a ladder going up a tall mountain because somebody might already placed it there for you. There's also like different equipment and drops on the ground that you can deliver and turn in for them. You get likes. It's like a rating system. It's like, man, it's just cool how they did it. I've never
Right.
played a game like that before. It's something new and unique, and so far I'm really drawn to the storyline. Like, I was so immersed into playing it. I was like, man, this is really good. Like, even my chat was like, hey, this game good. The
And see,
graphics are great too, man.
yeah,
I
the
gotta
graphics
point
are
out the
insane.
graphics is so good.
The graphics are insane.
Everything
And
from
I
the
also
sweat,
think that
the goosebumps, the hair, everything.
I think a person's gripes are the walking, the trekking. But I love games like that. I love exploratory
I do
games.
too.
I love simulation. I mean, I play the most boring. I want to say, I don't want to keep calling it a game, but I play the most boring simulator ever, X-Plane 11, where you just fly, and it's exciting to me. So I think I'm gonna have to check it out.
I'll recommend it. I think
For
you
sure.
would enjoy it because I love exploring in games too. Like, sometimes I don't feel like playing multiplayer or
I
dealing with
never
being
read the
competitive
reviews,
all the
K.
time.
I never read the reviews, K, until the game
I
is
don't
released to the
either.
mass.
I don't believe it half of the time because, like, for me, it's an individual experience when you're playing a game. Like, 2K probably get a 10 plus review because of how many sales it got, or how many people are playing it. But that game is, like, really, to me, is rated a 2.
It's not
It's
even on the board. Okay.
for me.
What, 2K is rated a 2? Last time I checked, that had half a star on Xbox. So you gave them a lot more
That
credit
2
than
I
comes
most
from
of
me
I
us.
just,
don't.
loving basketball, okay? But
That-
the game is
I just feel like it's something to do at this
terrible.
point. Okay, 2K is just something to do if
Absolutely.
you like to rage and get frustrated.
It's the only basketball game, and I'm a hot. When I say I'm a basketball fanatic, have been all my life. I don't know anything else when it comes to sports. I couldn't watch it, but basketball I could watch and play till the sun come up and the sun go down. So 2K got me on that because they are the only one right now. I'm low key waiting on EA Sports. I've been playing live since '95.
Well, we won't get a live 20.
Yeah.
That's confirmed. So keep working, keep waiting.
That is confirmed.
But
Yes, I'm extremely hurt. I support them just because sometimes I buy their game and don't even play it, but I buy it. Whatever edition they got, I buy it just because.
You are a great supporter.
In hopes that they get some money, to fix whatever issues they may have to make their game more interesting. I really just think it got everything to do with movement. They still based off
Yeah,
of
and they
Live
need
09
more
where you press one
animations.
button and you do
Animations is like
13
the biggest
moves just
thing,
make a layup.
especially if you're going against a competitor like 2K.
Absolutely. You need more control of
Well,
those animations.
2K is no competitor. We just need somebody
Yes,
to make
You
a
just
better
I
need,
game.
agree.
really, it's just control.
They're in competition with
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah. 2K has made it to where their control system is amazing. That's I give them that. Their control system is a lot better
There
than
is
any
no
other
other
basketball
basketball
game where
game, sir.
you literally could press
That's what
one
I'm saying.
button. What you mean? I'd rather play 3v3 freestyle. I love basketball sometimes to the point I will play 3v3 freestyle. If y'all don't know, that's a free game on Xbox and PS4. Shout out to 3v3
I know.
freestyle.
But they're in a lane of their own. They don't have
It's a
any
very addictive
competition, and
game.
they know it. And that's why they don't feel the urge to do anything about it. And I'm just hoping.
They worry about the
I'm
next
hoping
latest
that
drop.
someone
That's
else
really all they
picks
care
up
about.
a real quote unquote basketball simulator and put everything that's in 2K into
I
it
hope so.
and make it better. But that's neither here or there and off.
I really think, I'm gonna be honest, I hope the next people that do make a basketball game decides to say we're not gonna do a drop every year. We're just gonna update rosters and improve the game every year.
Well,
and keep doing recent updates.
That's
that
what you're
allow the
paying for
platform
when
to
you're
live
buying
like
2K. They
GTA.
didn't do anything but change the storyline.
Exactly. I wish, I tell you this now, I will spend my money on VC with you or whatever virtual currency you decide to charge. If you just keep updating your rosters and animations as the game go on. Like Fortnite, how they put an animation in there where you can carry your daggone opponent across the damn map if you choose to. All you have to do is update some animations, update the rosters, and I'll continue to spend money with you. Long story short.
I ain't yeah. Moving on, because I like just 2K is making me just cringe. It's so bad.
But yeah, that's all I had to that's all I wanted to talk about. Oh, OG with the drama.
It's your boy OG, and here's your trending drama news alert. T.I. is catching all the smoke right now, talking about his daughter's virginity and what he do to make sure she stays a virgin live on his podcast. According to sources over at BuzzFeed News, T.I. has made multiple reports that he takes his daughter every year to the gynecologist to check and make sure that her hymen is still intact. He was once informed that the hymen can be broken in other ways when he was thinking that it was only one way through sexual penetration. The doctor said, no, Tip. No, Tip. It can be broken in many other ways, like bike riding, athletic sports, horseback riding, and other physical activities. T.I. then went on to say, look, Doc, she don't even ride no horses. She don't ride no bikes, and she don't play no sport. Just check the hymen, please, and give me back my results expeditiously. He also went on to mention that on her 16th birthday, he put a sticky note on the door after her party saying gyno tomorrow, 9:30 sharp. T.I., that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. And for you to put that out as a father, it's even more embarrassing. I feel sorry for Deja, and I hope that now that she's 18, I hope that she find a way to turn this into another message. Because I know people and boys and other girls in college or whatever is going to look and feel a certain way about her. I don't think that that's right for a father to go to that extent to make sure that his daughter stays pure. I think all he had to do was to simply talk to her, teach her right, and leave it to her own to become who the woman that she wanted to be. T.I., there's also a thing called birth control. I think that's the most appropriate thing to do, is to teach your child about birth control and condoms. Deja Harris, I am sorry that your father is like this, but we all know T.I. will go to the extreme to get his point across. Would I personally do this as a father? Hell no. Do I agree with this? Hell no. And moving right along. YK Osiris. Many of you may know him from multiple hit songs. He's also called himself now the king of R&B. He's 21 years of age. He made a YouTube video about a week ago talking about the music industry and why he wanted out. Let's listen to a small clip of that.
Rapping and singing is a blessing. You're not using God in vain, in his name in vain. It's not a blessing from God. Stop saying it's a blessing from God.
oh, Osiris, you were all holy, holy and thou. And then right around after you made that video a couple days later, you beat a girl at your birthday party. It's been reported through multiple news sources that YK Osiris was at his birthday party and he was arrested for biting and punching his girlfriend. He's being held in Fulton County Jail right now without bond on an aggravated assault and strangulation charge. That's what the jail records show. Now, I personally felt kind of bad when I heard the first video of him explaining why he didn't want to be in the music industry no more. And I felt like it would be unsafe. I've talked to multiple people about that. Like, man, that video was kind of chilling. And I feel like something's going to happen to this kid. And little do you know, he Chris Browned. The same thing that CB did, he turned around. It must be something about these light-skinned R&B guys that makes them want to put their hand on a female. It's wrong. Don't do it. The law will get you. The labels will get you. Didn't you learn anything from Chris Brown? Is this an agenda? Most of you may ask, and most of the people are saying through sources that I've looked at and comments that this is an agenda from a secret organization for him putting out that video exposing the music industry. Do I feel that way? I won't comment on that. Another question I was asked is, will more happen to him? Probably so. He's in jail. He's put his hand and assaulted a woman, and he's probably going to be in a cell somewhere where a guy just ain't going to tolerate that, and they might choke him up. Do I want something to happen to him? No. But when you put your hands on a woman of that matter, something should happen and may happen to you. I feel also that him making that video and going ranting, I think his label, which he signed to Def Jams, and we all know that Def Jams has had a bad reputation throughout the 90s with their talent. I believe that he's going to sit there and the record label will make him think about talking again about what happens in the industry, because that puts a bad mark on the industry. And that's all I have for you today. This has been your trending drama report. I am OG, and I'll see you in the next show. For better news, we have my boy Millie.
Yo.
He's going to come to and talk to y'all about the entertainment world and what he has. What do you feel about that YK Osiris thing there, Millie?
Honestly, with my man YK, man, I think it's more so just a moment where he start to realize who he is as a person. I think it's a lot of his upbringing, the things he was taught, and the things that he's seen currently. You know, the industry is something that thrive off of that negative attention, about singing about hoes and guns and violence and making money off of it and how they splurging in the riches. But I think it came down to, you know, it challenged his spirit, because he's looking like we're making money off of singing all this negative stuff. But truth be told, I think he saw it deep down that nobody's speaking positivity and prospering off of it, you know. Right. But he, you know, of course, with his upbringing, who was told to go against God? You know?
Right.
So I think that's the biggest thing, man. So I think the young boy got a lot going on. Def Jam, you know, I mean, not Def Jam, but, you know, the music industry is a rough place. You're dealing with a lot of higher power people and a lot of money. And as they would say, money is the root of all evil.
Right. And I think that fits well and leads into your topic today. And what is your topic for today?
Today, my topic is the music industry, whether you should go with a label or be independent. What is a wise move for you? And I will start that by saying you must go at this industry with a plan, regardless if you're independent or you want to work with a label. If you want to be independent, you need to make sure that you're independent. Cover yourself by all aspects. Go at it with a solid plan, whether you going at it for the money or you going at it to put your craft out there. And that takes, you must know your lane and stay in that lane. I think most artists actually, they get it confused that when they go to a label, The label is gonna take care of everything. They're gonna make sure I'm right. They're gonna make sure I'm okay. They're gonna give me a whole bunch of money, and I'm gonna be rich. And then forget the part where they have to do as the label say. You have to work for that label because they make money off of you. They're a bank at the end of the day.
Right. I remember the old labels. I remember the Suge Knight and, the Cash Money incident that happened with Lil Wayne. I remember when it was, rappers were getting robbed. Period. Singers were getting robbed. They were getting cars, jewelry, houses, furs, clothing, but no money.
Absolutely. That was back during the era where they was they called it raping you records. That was back when 360 deals were the biggest thing that they was offering at labels, because they realized that, hey, we're going to cover your promo, we're going to cover your advertisement, we're going to cover your wardrobe, we're going to cover your music videos, we're going to cover your shows. So guess what? We want a piece of everything. And if you don't produce and cover the market, the what they put up for you, then you is considered raped.
Right.
Because they're going to get their money back.
Shouts out, round of applause to all the artists out there that own their own masters.
Absolutely. And I tell people all the time, that's the key thing about being independent. It's owning yourself, trademarking, branding, networking, putting yourself in a position to where you come to the table with something to offer.
Mm-hmm.
It takes money to make money, as they would say. You got to go to that table with a bag. Can't come in there thinking you're just going to get everything and receive it and get nowhere. So, like a lot of these artists nowadays, if you take a good example of DaBaby is a prime example of someone that went to the table with a plan. He put in a lot of work to get himself out there. He did a lot of his own promo, a lot of his own marketing, and when he went to the label, he said, you're going to have to give me something more, because technically I'm a CEO of my situation. What do you have to actually offer me? Because I can do this on my own.
So, with that being said, break down to the listeners, after you've got your plan, you got your little money, you got you're buzzing. What is the next step when you approach that label?
The next step when you approach that label is you're telling them basically, hey, this is what I offer. This is what I bring to the table. I can book my own shows. My city loves me. I can go to any club here and crowds are going to come out to watch me. All I really need is the money to help fund my situation. As in, if I want more advertisement, more billboard charts, or, you want more promoting, or you need something to help with travel, you're going to go to this label with the idea of, hey, I don't really need you. I'm fine on my own, but it would be helpful if you could provide more. Therefore, I could double your money and my money at the same time. Therefore, we're partners. Because that's how you have to look at the label, is we're becoming partners now. Because I can fund my own situation.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. And I would also like to add and say that labels can get you indoors that you can't get yourself most of the time as an independent artist.
Right.
Like BET, like Rolling Loud, in different venues where you can get maximum amount of exposure, halftime show games. And a great example of that is my boy DDG. Shouts out to DDG. He grew his platform on YouTube, growing himself to 2-3 million fans. And then he started to put out music so that when he went to the label, he don't need the label. He could do a YouTube tour and make more money than the label can do putting out a major artist. That's a fact. But he uses that label for their abilities to get him into certain venues that he can't get himself. How do you feel about that, Millie?
And that's absolutely true. A lot of these venues do require you to have a bigger name and a bigger platform, but they just have the connections.
Right.
Sometimes you don't really, that's the part of networking. Sometimes you network with people because of the connections, the things that they're capable of doing that you're not able to physically do yourself. Don't mean you can't afford it. Don't mean you don't have the money. You just may not have the connection and the relationship with certain situations as this label may have.
Right. It's always good to have what as they used to say, it's always good to have that rabbit's foot in your back pocket.
Absolutely.
Or ace in the hole.
Absolutely.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
So I tell people all the time, like I said before, go at it with a plan. It's just like any other deal that you would do if you go to the bank to get money. You got to have your business plan in order and saying that this is my projected revenue. This is what I'm capable of doing. This is the financing that I need to make this happen. And you show and prove.
So would you agree that the label is a booster to the machine that you already have running?
Absolutely.
Good.
It is a booster. It is a booster. Or it could suffocate you. It could be the machine in which they take everything from you and you work for them. But it also depends on your situation.
We do have some great artists who's always been independent and still independent that's at the top. And that's a whole different route from my understanding, as in taking any kind of deal, even if it's a partnership deal with a label. But I think what these independent artists fail to relate is that just because you're independent, you don't do all your own distribution. You have to have a company behind you to distribute your music. You have to have a major promotion company behind you. Everything that you do, you have to have somebody behind you. Is that correct?
That is true. I mean, last time I checked, you're not going to go out there and cut grasses with scissors just because you're independent. You can do it on your own. No, you're going to get that well-oiled, gassed-up lawnmower and make that process easier.
So it's definitely okay to sign a deal. Just make sure you know what you're signing. Get you some lawyers. Another question I want to bring up, because I've seen this all the time. Is it okay to have family on your team when you're dealing with that type of business? Like, who do you trust?
I'm gonna be honest. I actually am in the process of building my own label, which is Million Hustle, and right now I have my own family members that are working for me. Basically, we made a collaborative effort to make each individual person that's working with me a business owner, where they cover certain factions. Like as far as advertisement, right now my brother is artist and development, so he has his own artist and development company, which is all signed underneath my label,
right?
Which made us a unified group, which we can call ourselves a record label because we provide different resources. So it's okay sometimes as long as you know who you're getting in business with, and the roles is respected. It's okay. When they know that, hey, this person's in charge of this and this person's in charge of that, and they stay in their lane and they handle their responsibilities, it's okay. But you also got to be able to draw that line.
Yeah.
Right.
In closing, Millie, what would you like to tell all the people that are thinking about going into the music industry right now? Give them, if you could give them one word of wisdom for this episode, what would you give them walking into it blindly?
The best one word answer I could say is knowledge. Knowledge is key because you have to have knowledge of who you are as a person. You have to have knowledge of the business, and you have to have knowledge of where you want to go. Knowledge is the key. Research, studying, learn from other people's mistakes, learn from your own mistakes. Knowledge is key.
Knowledge. I will agree on that. And, thank you, Millie.
Absolutely.
And now, it's been a podcast. And now we must go. Guys, ladies, listeners, what you've heard here at the Thought Podcast stays here at the Thought Podcast. We're so glad that you tuned in to listen to another episode of the Thought Podcast. We appreciate you for supporting us and listening. Soon we'll have more endings to tell you guys about. But as of right now, make sure we are on all platforms. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, so on and so forth. We have provided a link tree where you can find us and contact us. If there's something you want us to talk about, hit us up. Make sure that you contact us through our Gmail. And yeah, this has been a great podcast, and I'm always thrilled to do a podcast with my two co-hosts.
Period.
And you can find me live at twitch.tv/OG_blue pill and twitter.com/OG_blue pill. Kay, where can they find you?
You guys can also find me on twitch.tv, Lady K Lee, on Twitter and IG_Lady K Lee.
Millie, where can they find you?
Man, look, man, on Twitch, you can find me on that // yeah, MOH_MILI on Instagram. We'll make it work. But yeah, just reach out to me on Twitch, man, and I'll be able to link you in with everything else. Till then, I got you.
All right. This will include our podcast for today. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace.